Saneauto, where we do repair videos, tool review videos, and show car videos. And of course, on Sundays, we do our Sane Sunday Live, where we hang out with all the other car guys and the car channels, and we trade notes and we do trivia, car trivia. And lately, we've been doing quite a bit of NASCAR trivia. But I'm here to apologize for not being there last Sunday and let you know what's going on with the channel, why we weren't there. And we're going to be purchasing Davinci Resolve 16 live right here in this episode. So first of all, before we purchase that Davinci, I want to tell you why we're buying the Davinci Resolve 16, which is the latest and greatest of one of the greatest editors you can possibly have. Certainly my choice in editing. And I learned this from Camaro Time, Camaro Time channel, Pete at Camaro Time. And he turned me on to Davinci. I was using another editing software, which I really did like. And it was a little bit simpler and it was very user friendly, but it can't do nearly what Davinci can do. So how we got to this point was, of course, last week we were cooking along really well and the channel was going great, and we really would like to thank all our viewers and show some appreciation here right now for all the growth that we've had, and there's no way we could do it without you, and there's no way we could keep doing this for the small amount of money that YouTube does without your support during our lives and your support of watching our videos and commenting and sharing and all those wonderful things that you do to help support this channel. And of course, a special thanks to all of our viewers that have given us super chats. The money that we didn't use on getting our new hats and other merch, we will be putting into this Davinci software today. So if you're wondering where your super chats went, this is where it's going. Of course, we're putting a lot of our own money into this as well, and which is not a problem. It's super worth it for a wonderful program. We will be using Pete at Camaro Time's link. We have our own affiliate link in the description right now, and we'll be having it in there every video for the Davinci Resolve 16. So if you want to get the Davinci Resolve 16 for yourself, it will be in the description. The link will be in the description. But today we'll be using Pete at Camaro Time's link, his affiliate link, to purchase our copy of the Davinci Resolve 16. We're replacing the Davinci Resolve 15 with this version because last week we had our problem with uploading this week and not having the live last Sunday started with a death in the family. One of our very close family members. If you've been following the channel and our Saneauto Facebook page and all that, then you know what's going on there. But she was diagnosed with cancer, and it was in the late stages. And she died this Monday at 7:30. So, we're all a little bit tore up about that. And then we had a cascade of problems starting with the, I'm sorry, my brain's still not right. But starting with the editing, which I had been already taking a hard look at the channel and had deleted some videos and privatized some older videos because we've been improving our quality, and you really start noticing the lower quality videos every time you improve quality in both your filming and your editing, and I'm no exception to that. So I've been doing those things, And I noticed that in some of the newer videos that I hadn't been using the stabilization portion of the software as much. I wanted to get back to doing that to keep the quality up and increase the quality, not lower the quality. Then I realized on the next video I was about to edit that the stabilizer wasn't working. And I was trying to fix that, and I decided this would probably be a good time to go ahead and upgrade to the Davinci 16 instead of fixing the problem with the Davinci 15. Just go ahead and upgrade to the 16 and be done with it. Because I've been wanting to upgrade for a while anyway. And I wanted to get off of the free version and get to the paid version. So we'll take care of all that with one fell swoop with purchasing the Davinci Resolve 16. Now, I was going to do that earlier this week, and then we had problems with the Google Chrome. And the Google Chrome wasn't working. And while I was trying to fix the Google Chrome, we had problem with the processor starting to get slow. And rather than switch to one of the other computers or one of the other laptops, I wanted to fix it because I use this laptop a lot. And it's the fastest one that I have. So, of course, I want to use that for editing and have my fastest processor coupled with my editing software. So, I finally got the computer fixed to where it was working correctly. And then I ended up, after all the things I tried to fix Chrome, all the techniques I tried to use to fix Chrome, nothing would work. I ended up reloading Google Chrome from scratch, and that did fix it. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, and it didn't cause as many problems as I thought it would. So I did that. And now the only thing we have left to correct before we can get back on our regularly scheduled programming is the new Davinci Resolve 16. Hello, Bodgett and Leggett Garage. Good to see you. Hello, Junkheads Picking. Great to see you here. Yes. Monday sounds good. So if you're watching this in replay, we're going to go over some of this again. You may want to skip a few minutes if you want to watch us purchase that Davinci Resolve right here live. But I'm going to go over it again for the guys that have just showed up. Why we're doing that and what has happened in the last week and why we did not have our live on Sunday. And of course, you know, you guys are probably following the Saneauto Facebook page, so you may already know that we had a death of a close family member, and it wasn't completely sudden, but it was quick. You know, she was diagnosed with cancer 3 weeks ago, and it was something that they had overlooked at the hospital. Hello, Josie. Good to see you again. It's been a little while since you've been in the chat. But after she was diagnosed with cancer, it didn't take very long because it was in the late stages. Because, of course, you know, she had regular doctor visits and a lot of her symptoms were caused by that, but they did not diagnose it as cancer until 3 weeks ago. And by then, the tumor was just so big and had already spread. It was too late. But we lost her this Monday at 7:30, and we knew it was coming. That's why we didn't do the live this weekend. As you guys know, we never miss our lives, and we like hanging out with you guys. But there was just no way we could do that. We were actually there with her that night instead of being on live. And then during this week, we even missed our uploads because I was having trouble with the computer. And if that wasn't bad enough, I started having trouble with the meetings. And then Google Chrome quit working, and I couldn't even get online with Google Chrome. So I had to fix all that. I wasn't really in the state of mind to be doing any problem solving or troubleshooting, but you know, you do what you got to do. And so thank you, Josie. And so, you know, first thing I managed to take care of was the computer was slowing down. I managed to figure that out and fix that, which I could have switched to a different computer, but I didn't want to because this is my fastest computer. This is the best one for doing the editing, and that's what I purchased it for. And so I needed it back in correct working order. While I was trying to fix that's when the Google Chrome quit working, which I was using for, you know, Googling and searching things to try to problem solve everything. I ended up having to reload Google Chrome in order to get it working again, because all the other videos that I looked up and techniques that I copied from those videos and tried didn't work. So I ended up reloading that. Now, as far as Davinci 15, which I am very happy with, and I didn't have any problems with until lately, it was the stabilization part of the software that started locking up when I would hit stabilize and get all my settings ready. And for the clip I wanted to stabilize, I hit stabilize, and it would just lock up and sit there on 0%. Now I went through some other videos to see if I could fix it, and I tried a couple of things, and then I realized I'm on the free version of Davinci 15. I've been wanting to upgrade to the paid version for a while anyway, and the new Davinci 16 is out, so I want that, and I've been hearing rave reviews on that, and if it's anything like 15, it's got to be amazing. And so it's time to upgrade to the Davinci Resolve 16. The best time, if you're wanting to, even in your cars, if you're wanting to upgrade to a larger, more powerful engine, you're wanting to upgrade to a different car, the time to do it is when something's broke or not working and you're going to have to tear everything apart and fix it anyway. That's when you do your upgrades. So this is no different. We're having a little trouble with a little piece of the software. It's time, and we've been wanting to upgrade for a while anyway, so this is the time to do it. And I figured we'd do that live, and we use Pete at Camaro Times link. I have my own link, affiliate link to the Davinci 16 software in the description of this video and in some of my other videos, and I will be putting it in all the videos from now on. But for today's, so that he gets the commission, and he is the reason why I was able to learn how to do Davinci. I found out about Davinci through Camaro Time, through Pete at Camaro Time. The videos you see on our Sane Enterprises channel explaining how to do this editing and that editing in Davinci, all that knowledge comes from watching Pete's videos at Camaro Time and learning how to edit on Davinci from Pete at Camaro Time. So I will be using his link to make this purchase. And let's see, we also, another little piece of news, the Google Hangouts is now gone. It's over with. And that's what we were using for all our lives, is the Google Hangouts. So we're on the YouTube thing right now. I don't even know what it's called, but it's similar to the Google Hangouts. And it's a little bit different, but it doesn't seem to be that much different so far. I mean, I can see y'all in the chat over here. I can see your comments, which is good. And so now I need to figure out how to do a screen share on here so you can see this purchase. If I can do a screen share. If I can't, I can physically pick up the camera and just move it around here. That's what I'm going to have to do. Because in Google Hangouts, there was a button over here I could just click and do the screen share. And before we do our next live, I will Google and look up some videos on how to do screen share on this new YouTube thing and try to figure it out. But for right now, let's just give you all a view what I can see. Please forgive my messy desk. Oh, look at that. That makes some weird infinity going on here. Isn't that something? Okay, there is Camaro Times channel. And let's see here. This is one of his videos. And right here where it says equipment, software, there's this link. Magic Design to resolve. And of course, there's lots of customer reviews. It's a $300, $299 flat fee, which is one of the things I like about Davinci, because a lot of the other softwares, even if you're only paying like $40 to $50 a month, $40, $50 a month for your editing software works out to be $500 or $600 the first year, which is almost twice as much as the $300 for your Davinci Resolve, and you own it outright. Now all these right here is pretty much, we all that use Davinci are used to that. We know it comes with that, and it is Mac and Windows and Linux compatible. All right, it's going to ship to us in a USB dongle, so it's not going to be down right here. I don't know most of these things on Amazon now. They almost all have only so many left in stock, order soon. But they're not going to run out of computer programs. It's not something you run out of, and they're not going to run out of dongles to load them on. So, y'all ready for me to pull the trigger? Now, I may have to move the camera when we get to the cart because this is live and it's going out on the internet, and I don't want to give up any of my payment information. But we're going to hit the buy now button. Yep, and we're already to a password, so I'm going to have to move you over here so you can see me, so and I can enter my password without everyone else on the internet seeing my first. Now, okay, there's mirrors in this. Let's go a little bit. Yeah. Make sure there's no reflection of any password over here. And there we go. So what are y'all using for editing? If you don't mind me asking. And do you have anything going on with your channel right now? Any new videos coming out that we should know about? Any going to be doing any lives? Any live streaming in the next week, or any new videos? Is there a new video that you just put out here recently that you want to tell everybody about? Okay, yeah. Now Josie is wanting to try Davinci, but he recently changed from Vista with Movie Maker to Windows 10 and Shotcut. Now I'm not sure about Shotcut. Is this, my head might explode if I try another new program. Right, at least one video a week, and haven't tried live yet. Yeah, there's still a lot of people that aren't doing lives, and it can be a pain sometimes, especially you got a busy schedule and everything. and things come up, and then you realize, oh my gosh, it's almost time for our live, and we've got to get back to the house and set everything up. At the same time, you also look forward to it, because you look forward to being able to hang out with everybody. I guess the easiest way to do that is what we do most of the time, because we're live twice a week, once on this channel and once on Sane Enterprises. And this is why we don't live every night, because it's actually easier to go on somebody else's live in the hashtag Insane Friends and hang out with all you guys in the chat in somebody else's live. And it's kind of a cheat code, because they're doing all the work presenting the live, and you still get to hang out with everybody. It's not quite as good as having your own live, but it's easier too. It's easier. And if you, for some reason, can't be there right on time, or you miss it, you know, the live continues to go on because somebody else is hosting it. Somebody else in the group is hosting it. But once or twice a week seems to be a sweet spot. I can handle doing once or twice a week. I don't blame anybody that doesn't want to do a live, because it can be a lot of work. And I don't want to do more than once or twice a week, that's for sure. Kudos to everybody that can doing a live every night. I know that it's a big growth hack, and it does grow your channel really quickly, but it's not for me. I just can't handle it. I couldn't do live every night or every day or whenever they choose to do it. Oh yeah, Joe, if you had to, man, if you were closer, at least we're both on the East Coast. And yeah, that would be cool to do some kind of repair video collab. Would be pretty awesome, and it'd be fun to hang out with you. That would have been neat if you could have been here for some of that, all that battery stuff. Hey, Dorito and the Lucha Cabra in the house. Good to see you, man. Oh, geez. You don't realize how loud that air conditioner is till it shuts off. So, Dorito, are you back from your vacation and stuff? And are you gonna start doing lives again, live streaming again? And if so, when would you be doing it? Oh, and I want to invite everyone to share your videos on the Saneauto Facebook page. It's nothing but automotive people, but you know, just because they're automotive people doesn't mean they don't have interests above and beyond the automotive. Especially, I know a lot of you that aren't exclusively automotive do repairs on other things and stuff. I mean, we all do repairs more than just automotive, even if we don't put it on our channel. So we all find that interesting. So you're welcome to share that on the Saneauto Facebook page and stuff. And I know some of you are exclusively automotive, which is an absolute 100% perfect fit for the Saneauto Facebook page. So, I mean, by all means, drop a link to your videos when you have new videos on that Facebook page and get you some more views. We've got over 300 active members on that page alone now. Okay, so you're going to get back to the same time when you get back to your normal streaming. All right. Let us know, and you can, like I said, you can either Facebook message me at Victor Sane Facebook, or you can just drop a link on the Saneauto Facebook page, and we'll start promoting your lives again as soon as we know when they are and when they're starting up again. No problem, Dorito. I mean, we try to just we're like everybody else. So, you know, stuff happens and it does get in our head sometimes, but we don't let it come out on the channel or in the community. And we suck it up, Buttercup, and we soldier on. And try to give nothing but love and positivity here. And you know, even our black and fell off fingernails grow back. So that's the new one. That's the brand new fingernail. I didn't even lose that one. So, hey. Yeah, Josie, absolutely. Your channel would be a great fit for the Saneauto Facebook page, because I mean, I think everybody knows here right now knows about Josie's channel. But if you're watching on the replay and stuff and you haven't discovered Josie's channel, you really need to, because you'll learn a lot more than just car repair. I mean, he's got all kinds of stuff that he has. Some of my favorites on his channel is where he's found stuff and resurrected it from the side of the road. You know, lawn equipment, all kinds of stuff. I mean, just check it out and see what he's got. And he shows you the nitty gritty without skipping steps of what he did to get it back alive again and in working order. And you know, that's not just repair stuff. I mean, there's a way to make money in that too. So, you know, and it's repurposing, a type of recycling that is much better for the environment. I mean, all of us in the automotive repair world, I mean, we do a much better version of recycling that uses a lot less resources when we resurrect something and get it back to working order. Because when in the normal recycling process, when you take something, you take it to a recycling center and it goes through the recycling process, it does leave a much larger and not as large a carbon footprint as, you know, building something from scratch, but it does a lot larger footprint than in energy use than just repurposing something. So, and it's not the kind of thing where we get to go in front of a crowd and stick our chest out and say we recycled all this and that and get applause and claps and stuff from it. But it's a whole industry. The repair industry is really a whole recycling industry that should be able to stick their chest out, and a lot of people should get more involved in doing repairs and stuff. But it just doesn't get the glorification or the attention that some of the other really, you know, less. I shouldn't say it that way, because it's all good, you know, all recycling is good and helpful and needed, but repairs and repurposing is just a really good way to do more with less. And it doesn't just create a lot less waste. It you know, returns waste to usable items. And I don't know of any garage anywhere that doesn't do a really good job at just squeezing every little use they can out of every little thing, because you have to do that to maintain profitability. And a lot of them don't get as much recognition as they should for those kind of efforts. And Josie does that with a lot of stuff that's not even automotive. But I think a lot of us do those kind of things too behind the scenes. We just, you know, our channel, we stay so busy with automotive stuff that by the time you film all the automotive repairs and do all the automotive editing and stuff that a lot of us do, there's a lot of other things that we do that doesn't even get on there. But I have sneaked on a few things like some of the big diesel Kubota, some of the repairs on it. They've ended up on my channel and stuff. I couldn't remember and tell you what the title is to those videos, but I'll run across them when I'm going through stuff and deleting things. Some of the things that I delete because of lower quality, and I may end up doing a couple more of those anyway. I've got to get the deck off and put all new bearings on there for where in the hubs, because it's a big 72-inch deck, and it has these huge hubs that are they're like the hubs you have on the wheels on your car. They're so big, and they're quite expensive. And if you don't replace the bearings on a regular basis, you could end up buying a hub, and they're quite a bit more expensive than the hubs on a car. So I think I could get a couple of videos out of that if I video how to take the deck off and how to take off and reinstall a deck on one of those, and then the actual replacing all of the bearings as well. But right now we just went to another show, and I've got a lot of video from the other show. And we normally don't take any of our show cars or motorcycles. We just film everybody else's, and we did do that. We filmed and photographed everybody else's. But we did take a couple of the motorcycles this time and to another show. So the two shows that we took the motorcycles to recently, we have these new trophies to add to our collection from winning trophies with the, we call them the Fonzie bikes because they're both autographed by Henry Winkler. So we got these, and we've got this one too. So new trophies from the motorcycles, showing the motorcycles. And I got to be honest with you guys, one of the reasons why I picked the motorcycles to take instead of taking one of the show cars is I was just being lazy. There's less to work on and less to clean on the motorcycles. It seems like more because you've got more of the engine and stuff exposed on the motorcycles. But you can't take a show car to a show without getting in there and cleaning the engine and everything too. You're going to be popping the hood and showing all that off as well. So it actually ends up, the kind of cleaning that you got to do to prepare for a show, it does end up being less on a motorcycle. And yeah, that is a really good point, Josie. And yeah, the people are worried a lot about plastic straws and bags and stuff, and that's all good. Yeah, it is. It's all good. I mean, it's good to be worried about that stuff. You don't want any more of that stuff going in the ocean as possible. I like to eat seafood. I like shrimp and stuff like that, and I don't want to lose that. But you're right. You would be absolutely appalled at how many, good working, fixable, serviceable things people are just throwing out and going to landfills. And a lot of those things Josie's picking up, they still have oil in the crankcases, even though it's on a smaller scale because they're smaller engines. It's still got gas tanks full that's got some gas and stuff in them. And everything he picks up and fixes, and everybody else that does the same thing that he does with those things, is less stuff going into the environment and going into the landfills, and more stuff going back into the circulation. And then there's also a whole bunch of people that can't afford to buy everything new, and that I don't know if you're putting it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or wherever, but that's more that they can buy that instead of going and buying new. And so they can get a little bit more bang for their buck with their money, and put all these things back into use. Yeah, removing the decks and the bearings. And one of the reasons I was thinking about doing the thing with the deck is because I myself looked for a video on removing the deck on a Kubota like that, because even in my car repairs, a lot of times I've gotten spoiled with all these YouTube videos and stuff. Back in the day, if you didn't buy a repair manual, you got to figure it out. And I'm always one that if I had the instructions, I had the repair manuals. And when I worked at dealerships and stuff, and I had those original repair manuals, and I hated those stupid trees, those stupid repair trees. I hate those things. But you had to follow that stupid repair tree in order to figure something out. And I liked working from experience more than anything else. But I started at a really early age, and where I didn't have a lot of experience. And some of my experience was from, knocking on doors and asking older people if they needed something repaired or some work done around the yard and stuff like that. And they would stand over my shoulder while I change a starter or an alternator or something and say, take this bolt and take that bolt loose and stuff like that. And at that point, I didn't know nothing. And so I was just turning bolts and learning as I went. And it's easier if you've got somebody there standing there telling you what to do. But if you're thrown into 9 bays of a dealership repair, and nobody wants to tell you nothing, they're busy, they got stuff to do, and so a lot of them look at it as telling you how to do something. They're creating their own competition, and you got to hit those books, man. And we didn't have any YouTube. We didn't have any internet. I mean, so I'm spoiled. I mean, things are just so much easier nowadays. I just look up something, and even if I know how to do something, sometimes I'll look it up anyway and see how everybody else is doing it, to see if maybe there's something I forgot, or some little tip or trick that they're doing while they're doing it that I could get it done faster or quicker or easier. And then every once in a while I'll find a little golden nugget like that, And most of the time I'll look at it, I watch the video, and I'm like, I could have just gone and done it, you know. And that's exactly the way I was going to do it. I could have just skipped watching this, and I'd be done by now. But other times I'll be watching the video, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. I need to go out to the barn garage and grab this tool and stuff, and then it'll be a lot quicker and easier. Or I'll see some golden nugget, and I'll be like, why didn't I think of that? That'll be so much easier if I do it that way. And then I'll go hit it, and I'll film it when I do it, and I'll add the stuff that I know and how I do it with the stuff that I just learned from the other guy's video. And then I upload that video to the Saneauto channel, and it's got all the stuff that I knew and how to do it that makes it as quick and easy as possible, plus what I learned from the other guy together. And then in my mind, unless there's another video out there I couldn't find, it ends up being the best video and the best technique out there on the internet, until somebody watches mine and adds theirs to it and makes a better one, which is fine. I still get way more views and everything from the repair videos than any of the other videos we do. Yeah, Josie says some he uses, and some they're only good for parts, and others end up helping those that cannot afford new, which is great. And even the parts things, they don't end up in a landfill, because you're gathering up and setting them aside for parts, which I imagine you've got a collection of parts for all these various things that rivals my collection of transmission parts by now. Which is good, because if you're fixing those things, you're going to have to dip into those parts every once in a while. Some stuff isn't even made. It's not even available. I mean, at one point I had a Bridgeport mill, a lathe, and a bunch of other stuff to complement my good old cutting torch and welder. There's a lot of stuff you can do with a cutting torch and welder. But I had the Bridgeport mill, I had the lathe. Not that I'm any expert in using them. I never was, but I could fuddle along and fabricate a few things. And yeah, Josie, I remember going into the library. That's another good point. I remember having to go hit the library, because in Atlanta, there's a library in Atlanta and there's a library in Chattanooga that both have a section. Well, I say they do. They did. I don't know how many they got there now, because I haven't had to do that in a while. But I used to be able to go there, and they had this well-stocked section of repair manuals, and it was amazing. And I would go there, and back then they had these. You put coins in them. Printer copy machines. They were huge. They were huge. I know you know what I'm talking about, Josie, but some of our younger viewers have never seen these monstrosities, these big, huge printer copying machines. I mean, and these big books would fold out. You lay them across the top there, and close the lid, and copy whatever page you wanted to copy. That's the way we did it back in the day. I almost forgotten that, but yeah, we did it that way, because whatever page or pages you need. And I think it was dimes that I was using, feeding dimes into the thing, a dime per page. And then last time I did that, it was up to a quarter a page. Yeah, it takes a lot of room for a good sized lathe. The lathe I had was over 6,000 pounds. It was a Moray. a Moray lathe, and it was built in New York back when the United States used to build a lot of machinery and equipment. And it was a turret lathe. It could hold 6 different tools at once, and you could set it up to where it was kind of somewhere in between a CNC machine and a regular lathe, which was my favorite technology because you didn't have to have any kind of computer programs. You didn't have to have any kind of computer skills, any kind of electronics knowledge whatsoever, because you could set this thing up to where it would feed, you'd have your piece in the chuck, it would feed the tool toward the chuck and go to the depth that you set it for, and then back off and back up. And when it got to the back end of the table, it would hit a little trigger and push the head around to the next tool and lock into place, and then start feeding towards the spinning chuck again with your spinning piece in it. And you could set it to do that over and over again, and it could do like 6 different tools and 6 different tasks, one right after the other, by itself while you go work on a car. Yep, size of a small freezer. That's exactly the way I remembered it too. And one of those small that sit on the ground, top loading freezers with the door on the top, and they open like that too to get to the glass and put you. And they had all kinds of trays and stuff sticking out each end, and they had doors in the front where you'd load the ink and the papers. Well, we didn't do that. The librarians did all that. Oh, yeah. He paid to have somebody remove them. Yeah. Doesn't that just hurt a little bit when you hear about things like that, and you just wish, man, I wished I'd have been there. I would have just hauled them off for free and done something with them, either sold them to put them back in circulation, sell them to somebody that would fix them and repurpose them or something. I remember in the late 70s and early 80s, we'd run across stuff like that was broken, didn't know how to fix it, but we would still be able to find all kinds of servos and stuff inside the machines that were good for doing electronics projects, where we'd play around with electronics and build things out of electronics, even if it was just putting an electric motor on a toy car and taping some batteries to it to play around. You can find all sorts of stuff on those. They're just full of all kinds of electronic gadgets. It's amazing nowadays that I have one sitting right there where I can see it that will do almost everything those big machines would do. And it's almost as small as my laptop now. They were high tech back then. You're absolutely right. And they were high dollar too. I mean, companies were making payments on those things to have them around. And some people were just leasing them, which the kind of lease where you're just basically renting the thing. And they would be wore out and done by the time the lease was over. And they have to start over with another new one. All right. Well, I'm going to thank you all for coming. I've run out of things to say, and I do have a long list of things that I need to repair. I've been talking about repairs this whole time. Well, not the whole time, but most of the time, and I'm not doing any. I need to get some done. And I'm going to continue filming those too, and they will be on the channel. I do have at least half a dozen things that I've already done and filmed. I even put a new emblem in the steering wheel of one of the Toyotas. It turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, and it's kind of a fun video, and you'll get to see if I get popped in the face with an airbag or not. And there's some new tires, and I made a video on why I chose the ones I did, and I will give up that I did not get the Goodyears, and there's a good reason for that, and it is in the video. And there's some bonus material in that video that has nothing to do with those tires. A really cool vehicle that I came across in that video, and I will give up that it is a Ford, and it is a nice one. And so if you're watching that video on the tires, which isn't out yet, but it will be, because I've got the new editing software now, and I'll be using the new editing software to do that as well. And I will be stabilizing it and stuff, so the no more of the shaky camera stuff. I'm going to take care of that, and so much better videos from now on, and so much easier to watch. And that's what I'm going to be trying to keep present in my mind, is make it easier to watch, make it easier to watch, make it as smooth as possible, the least amount of shakiness as possible, the most, and during the more cutting out the more monotonous parts, or spicing them up with some entertainment, like here lately I've been adding some of the little animations and stuff during those points, and just make it to where, one of the things I've been noticing in a lot of channels, they have to try a lot, and we've had to do this too, try a lot to get people to watch. Well, I want to get the videos such good quality and so entertaining that there's no need to try and get anybody to stay watching them. If it's a 5-minute video, not only will they be happy to watch all 5 minutes, because I've done a really good job at making the video interesting for the full 5 minutes, but they're going to be looking forward to the next video as well, and also want to set a good example for everybody else that's looking at my videos and trying to learn how to make good videos, be teaching them all the right things. So we'll be working on those videos, and that's one of the reasons why some older videos I deleted or made them private. And if I had more vehicles here, I could do some more of that, because I could do some more of the other repairs again and film it better, and make it a better video, and then I could delete even more of the older videos. But we'll get to that later, and this new version of the Davinci software should help with that too. But y'all have a great one. Wishing you insane growth. Until the next video, get off the couch and get dirty. And we will see you Sunday at 7:30. And I'm going to be back to uploading new videos on Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock, just like our regularly scheduled content. Repair videos, tool reviews, and show car videos. The triple threat.